Hey you guys, it's Chris Grano with the Graham Group and Keller Williams, and today we're going to talk about the 5 things that you absolutely need to know when it comes to how the value of your home is determined. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Chris Grano, stick around because I'm going to drop part 2 to this video with 6 features and benefits of homes that increase the value of the home maybe more than you think, maybe less than you think, or maybe decrease the value of the home. So let's dive right in and talk about these 5 things you absolutely have to know. And the most important thing you need to know is that the market determines the value of your home. Unfortunately, you don't determine the value, a real estate agent doesn't determine the value, your friends and family don't determine the value. It's determined by the market. And what do we mean by the market? Well, quite simply supply and demand. We're analyzing the supply of other homes that have sold and are for sale, and then the demand, which is the buyers who are willing and able to purchase your home. And those things are going to come together to give us the ultimate value of your home. Number 2, what you paid for your home has nothing to do with the value. Whether you bought your home 30 years ago or just earlier this year, whether you paid more than you're hoping to sell it for now or less, that price you paid for it, unfortunately, has absolutely nothing to do with the value. Number 3, estimates, automated estimates like on Zillow or Realtor.com or Redfin are nothing more than ballpark rough figures. If you dial down into the disclaimers on those, you'll see how they determine it, but essentially it's with publicly available information like tax records and recent sales in the neighborhood. What Zillow and Redfin and Realtor don't know about your home is, does your home have a finished basement and maybe your neighbor's doesn't? Does your home have everything upgraded to the latest trends and high-end materials just as of this year, and maybe your neighbor's home hasn't been touched since 1987? So keep that in mind when you're taking a look at those estimates, and be wary of that and go beyond that with a professional opinion of value. Number 4, when we determine the value of a property and we look at the market, we look at the supply of other homes that have sold and are for sale, we look at like-kind properties. The way that a real estate agent should be doing a comparative market analysis is very similar to how an appraiser is ultimately going to set the value, and that's looking at homes that are a similar range of square footage, similar features like number of bedrooms and bathrooms and garage stalls and things like that. And like-kind homes, we're going to try to compare 2 stories to 2 stories and ranches to ranches, things like that. And number 5, we talked about upgrades and how that can affect the value of your home. However, the dollar amount that you have put into your home over the years has very little one-to-one ratio with what you're going to get in an increased sale price. Now, like I said, if the home down the street hasn't been touched in 30 years and you just upgraded to the latest trends and colors and materials, you're going to fetch a higher sale price. The value of your home is clearly more than that home. However, if you've fitted your home with 24 karat gold, fixtures and sink and knobs and things like that, you are most certainly not going to get a dollar for dollar return on those things, including if you do very personal upgrades, if you make modifications to the home, if you put in a very expensive upgrade like a top-of-the-line Sub-Zero refrigerator when the average in the neighborhood is just a standard LG or Samsung, you are definitely not going to get that kind of a return. So hey, I hope that was helpful for you in understanding what you need to know about how value is determined for your home. Like I said, stick around, stay tuned on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell icon so you're notified when I drop the video with 6 things that increase and decrease the value of your home. Hope you guys have a great weekend.